Shash. Aeons in Sethian cosmology. Sethian Gnosticism, one of the rich branches of early Gnostic thought, offers a complex and deeply symbolic cosmology structured around a network of divine emanations called Aeons. These Aeons are not merely abstract qualities, but living divine entities who exist in a celestial realm called the Pleroma, the fullness of divine light and power. Unlike simplistic linear emanations, Sethian cosmology suggests a far more intricate interweaving of aeons, arranged in interlocking family triads that express relationships of generation, pairing, and divine roles. This document explores these triads and the principal aeons that constitute the Sethian cosmic order. The Web of Family Triads. Scholars of Sethian texts have suggested that Sethian cosmology organizes its aeons into approximately 6 to 9 family triads. Each triad consists of a grouping of 3 related aeons, typically including a divine progenitor, a consort or counterpart, and a child or emanation, whose interactions and relationships form the basis of the unfolding divine order. These triads are not isolated, but interlock, forming a complex web that symbolizes both divine harmony and the multifaceted nature of divine reality. Below is a detailed account of these triads, drawing on Sethian texts such as the Apocryphon of John, Zostrianos, the 3 Stales of Seth, and related literature. 1. The Invisible Spirit, Barbelo, and the Triple Male Child, the Great Christ. At the very root of Sethian cosmology is the invisible spirit, the ineffable, unknowable, and unbegotten first principle. This spirit is the ultimate source from which all things flow. From the invisible spirit emanates Barbelo, the first thought or forethought, a feminine aeon embodying divine awareness and creative potential. Barbelo, in turn, generates the triple male child, also known as the Great Christ, or autogens, self-generated. This triad forms the foundational divine family, representing the origin of all subsequent aeons and the unfolding of divine will. Triad 2. The triple male child, the virgin Yule, and the child of the child Esefek. From the Great Christ emerges a second triad. The triple male child, the virgin Yule, and the child of the child known as Esefek. Yule is often considered a pure and virginal feminine aeon, symbolizing divine chastity and the receptacle of the divine seed. Esefek represents a further generation of divine light, a second-level emanation born from the union of the triple male child and Yule, symbolizing the transmission of divine essence and the unfolding of the spiritual lineage. 3. The spirit, Pronoia, and the autogenes logos. The third triad involves the spirit, sometimes ambiguously identified, Pronoia, foreknowledge, and the autogenes logos, self-generated word. This triad reflects the intellectual and creative dimensions of the Pleroma. Pronoia is the divine intention or planning force, while the autogenes logos is the creative expression, the word made manifest. Together, they embody the dynamic process by which divine will is articulated into cosmic order. 4. The self-begotten word, Mirotho, and Adamus. This triad focuses on the self-begotten word, an emanation of autogens, alongside Mirotho, a feminine aeon often associated with mercy or grace, and Adamus, the primordial archetype of the spiritual human. Adamus, dwelling within the luminary Harmazel, represents the ideal human form in the divine image. This triad emphasizes the emergence of divine humanity and the compassionate nature of the divine. Char 5. Adamus, Prophania, Seth, and the 4 luminaries. In a slightly expanded form, this triad includes Adamus, Prophania, and Seth, connected to the 4 luminaries, Harmazel, Oroel, Devathai, and Eleth. The 4 luminaries are major aeonic realms, each containing 3 aeons, for a total of 12 emanations. They serve as the divine homes for spiritual archetypes such as Adamus and Seth, and play a pivotal role in maintaining the harmony of the Pleroma. 6. Seth, Plesethia, and the seed of Seth. Here we see the lineage extending through Seth, the divine ancestor of the Sethian spiritual race, Plesethia, a feminine aeon often linked to fullness or abundance, and the seed of Seth, the spiritual descendants who carry the divine spark in the material world. This triad represents the transmission of spiritual identity and the hope of salvation for the spiritual seed amid the corruption of the lower realms. 7. Elilith, Gamaliel, and Gabriel, the Helix Sophia Cloud, Soclus, and Nebrual. This complex triad combines Elilith, one of the four luminaries, with Gamaliel and Gabriel, two powerful Aeons often portrayed as divine archons or messengers. Additionally, it encompasses the Helix Sophia cloud, the earthly, material aspect of Sophia, and Saklas and Nebruel, figures associated with the demiurgic powers that oversee the flawed material cosmos. This triad portrays the tension between divine restoration and material corruption, highlighting the cosmic drama of Sophia's fall and the role of archons in entrapping the spiritual seed. 8. Hormos, Metanoia, and the early Sethites. This triad brings together Hormos, an Aeon linked to order or covenant, Metanoia, repentance or change of mind, and the early Sethites, the first spiritual adherents of the Sethian revelation. It represents the ethical dimension of the Sethian path, emphasizing transformation, repentance, and the conscious awakening of the spiritual elect. 9. Logos, Adokla, and the truth and justice of the Sethite. Finally, a possible ninth triad includes Logos, possibly distinct from the Autogenons, Adokla, a divine feminine figure, and the qualities of truth and justice, foundational virtues of the Sethian community. This triad underscores the ultimate aim of Sethian Gnosis, to restore divine truth and justice within the spiritual cosmos and individual souls. Conclusion. Sethian cosmology's structure of Aeons as interlocking family triads reveals a profound vision of divine complexity. Rather than a simple linear chain, Sethian Aeons are woven into an interrelated web of relationships, each triad expressing a unique aspect of divine life and the cosmic process. From the invisible spirit and Barbello, through the great Christ and the four luminaries, down to the spiritual seed of Seth and the forces of cosmic restoration, the Sethian system articulates a sophisticated theology of emanation, fall, redemption, and ultimate reunion. Understanding these triads provides key insight into the Sethian worldview, illuminating how divine power flows through generations of aeons to shape both the transcendent Pleroma and the path of salvation for spiritual humanity.